Listener discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the I Should Totally Be Dead Right Now podcast, where we tell true stories of survivors of true crime, natural disasters, and everything else in between. How was your Easter, Michelle?
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it was great.
No, we had a fantastic time. We had the giant Easter egg hunt,
Yes.
as we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And then we had our friends from Winkler Farms and Second Chance Ranch.
Uh-huh.
They brought over baby goats and a
Aw.
miniature horse and baby rabbits, and oh my gosh.
So the kids probably were just in heaven.
They lost their damn minds.
Aww,
and
that's so sweet.
way overbought on candy. And so there's all these little kids, like 4-year-olds, running around with an entire grocery bag full of candy that they
cute.
can hardly carry. Oh, it was so sweet.
And plus in Oregon, it was actually a beautiful day, so everyone could be outside. And
Oh, yeah. We cooked out on the deck. We had
Nice.
the Easter egg hunt. We had the animals there. We had a fantastic time.
Great.
No, it was a lot of fun.
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
Ah.
I'm sorry I was not there.
You were missed.
Oh,
Big
thank
time.
you. So, what are we drinking?
Oh, fuck. I forgot about the drinks.
Yeah.
Is it Georgia gin?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It
Okay.
is.
So these are delicious, but we had to kind of tweak the recipe just a touch.
Yeah, it was just very gin forward, so we had to
Apparently,
take it
we
down.
just don't like to taste our alcohol when we drink it.
That's something we realized for this podcast. We don't like to taste alcohol.
We
and-
like the mixers.
Yeah.
So this one, the original recipe is 1 part gin, a half a part of peach schnapps,
Yeah.
and then you sort of fill your glass with orange juice.
Yeah.
And we found that it was, if you keep the gin 1-to-1 to
Yeah.
the peach schnapps, it was maybe a little tastier.
Yes. Agreed.
And I don't know, it's just that little bit of sweetness, and
I think they had a bigger glass as well, so they could fill the orange juice maybe a little more.
maybe, and
we have
we were
small.
in the middle of killing a bottle of gin, so maybe we went a little heavy with the gin.
Yeah, because we had to. We don't waste here.
Yeah,
So, and if
that's
there's a little
right.
bit, we just had to,
we just gotta drink it.
Exactly.
So we drank it. And then we got into another giant bottle of gin just after that.
Thank you, Michelle, for bringing that.
No
'cause-
problem. No problem. Fucking Joel brings home that goddamn aviation gin, and
It's Ryan Reynolds. So
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with Ryan Reynolds.
you cannot go wrong with
He's
Ryan
a good-looking
Reynolds.
guy.
Oh my
So-
god. And I love Blake Lively. I try to get my hair just like her.
You did. You sent a picture to your
Hairdresser. She's like, girl, sorry.
cute. No, it turned out great.
I can try my hardest.
No.
Now I have hair like Alexis from Schitt's Creek.
Oh, that's cute.
That's what I went for this
Okay.
time. All right.
All
You
right.
gonna kick us off, Caitlin?
I am. So this is a badass story.
Ooh, I like badass stories.
Yeah, but it still sucks. But I mean,
Oh, so it's shitty and a badass story.
yeah. But
Is it about a woman kind of overcoming badass, awful situations?
oh my god, how do you know? Yes,
That's right.
you're right. So it's not an April Fool's. I already did that. So
God damn it.
I
I'm
know.
still smarting over that thing.
you'll get yours.
Oh, I do apologize, though, for calling you stupid. I called you a stupid slut. I should have just kept it to slut.
Honestly, I didn't even realize. I was just so like proud of that moment. So you could call me whatever you,
You
want,
fucking
Michelle.
nailed it. You nailed it. Okay.
I didn't think you'd be rude to me intentionally ever,
No.
Michelle. So
All right.
this story is about Angela Champagne From.
Okay.
It's a hyphen. So it is April 2012, and we are in Anoka, Minnesota.
Okay, Minnesota. I had, I took my grandma, when I was like 16. I
Uh-huh.
needed to take her to go live with my uncle.
Uh-huh.
And he lived in Indiana, and it bordered like Minnesota. So it was like right
Okay.
there. And I came back with the biggest accent. I was there for
Really?
like 3 days, and I somehow picked up their
I feel
accent.
like people do that when they move, you know, or
It's
is
just
around
really
people with
easy.
accents.
And
Yeah.
and so I
I was at a bachelorette party, and this one chick was from the South, and she had a Southern accent, and I found myself
just
doing
copying her.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, "Are you like copying
I
me?" I'm like, "No, I'm sorry. I just that's what I hear, so I just did it." But it was so cute. Like,
Yeah.
I
No,
think
it's
a little
the
Southern
same.
accent is cute. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. drink
Any
some iced
accent.
tea and some sun. Like, it's so cute. Like, I don't know. That's terrible. But, okay, sorry.
All right. I'm sorry.
So, Angela is 29 years old.
and we are in Minnesota.
And she is pretty athletic, and she's actually training for a marathon that she wanted to compete before she was 30 years old.
Oh shit. Okay.
So 4 years earlier, when she wanted to start to run, she actually hired a running coach.
Okay.
And
She
wants to
she's
run.
invested.
Exactly.
Okay.
But this trainer turned out to be her boyfriend.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I know.
So did they meet while she was training? And
She was his trainer. I mean, he was her trainer.
And then they started dating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So now it is around 4 p.m. on a Thursday, and she is in a parking garage.
Oh god.
And she is parked a few steps away from the elevator, and she was heading from work to school. So she was getting her bachelor's in women's studies and legal studies because she was a paralegal. So she was getting her degree and such.
All right.
Good for you, girl.
Yeah, fucking making it happen. She's gonna make those dollar bills. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
So as she was just a few steps away from the elevator, a man in a business suit walks up and pulls a knife to her throat.
What? I'm like, he's in a business suit.
Exactly. Okay, so but she thought it was a joke. Like,
She's
this
like,
is
"What the
not
fuck are you
happening.
doing?"
So she grabbed the knife and cut her thumb, and she's like, "Oh, this is a real knife."
Oh shit. She's like, you're so dumb.
Yeah.
Give me that. And then she's like, oh damn.
Mm-hmm. I'm bleeding. He put the knife to her throat and said, "We're going for a ride." And her first thought was, "No, the fuck, we are not going for a ride."
You go, girl.
Yeah. So even though she was 29 years old, she still remembers a self-defense class she took in high school.
Okay.
So she stomped on his feet, she clawed his face, bit his hand, jabbed at his crotch, and just was kicking and screaming, being loud and violent as much as she could.
When you said she was a badass, you were not wrong.
I know, right?
You nailed it.
So she was definitely not going into that car.
Yeah.
She was not going. So
Well, and that's what you should do, right? I mean, you should make as much commotion as you can.
fight as hard
Go
as
for
you can.
all the soft spots that you possibly can find.
I mean, even if you've never took a self-defense class, they said just be violent in any way. So just scratch, scream, hit.
palm their fucking
anything.
nose right back into their brain.
Exactly. Just, yeah, make as much commotion as you can. And during this
right.
whole ordeal, he did stab her through the stomach.
Oh god.
But even being stabbed, she did not stop her
She's
fight
like,
back.
fuck it. I don't even care.
Exactly.
I don't even care.
And finally, this whole thing lasted 3 minutes. So it doesn't sound long, but 3 minutes is a long time.
Yeah, to be fighting for your life.
Exactly.
Are you fucking kidding?
Yes. So she kept fighting, and after 3 minutes, he stopped and he started to run. But before he left, he says, "You're lucky you're a fighter." And he left.
She was probably like, not on mine. And then she's
Exactly.
like,
Well-
running after him like crazy.
No,
She's like, I'm taking him down.
well, the stab wound that she got, the wound was actually 10 inches deep, and it was so deep that the tip of the blade reached her back muscles. Isn't that disgusting?
Oh my god. So it essentially almost hit her spine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was a big knife.
Yeah.
I mean, that was not like a little switchblade that
No.
he had.
It was a full-on knife.
Oh my god.
And he went full force into
That's
her abdomen.
Terrifying.
Isn't it? And that just got back
Yeah.
muscles. What? So she was bleeding a lot, and she gets to her phone and calls 911.
So is she still in the elevator at this point?
No,
do you
not in the
know?
elevator. She was only a few steps away from the elevator.
Oh.
She was going from school to work. So she was
I
leaving.
see. Okay, so she's just still in the parking garage,
Yep.
though. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry.
So she calls 911, but 911 dispatch could not locate her in the parking garage because of such a huge structure.
Oh my god.
So Angela, losing a lot of blood, she had to run down 4 flights of stairs just so she could get the help.
Oh
my god.
Oh my god.
I know,
Angela.
right? She lost so much blood that the homicide department was called in to take pictures.
Oh my god, so they just figured she was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
She lost so much blood.
there must have been blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
They would. Yeah.
Her going down the stairs. Oh my God. What
The
a
whole
nightmare. Oh my God.
But she got to the hospital and she went straight into surgery. Her liver and adrenal gland were lacerated and she had to spend several days in the hospital recovering. But she did survive the surgery and the stab wound and everything.
Oh my God. I'm like, got a little bit of goosebumps.
I know.
And,
The man who attacked her was convicted sex offender Robert John Mayers.
Okay.
And he had convictions in several states.
Oh.
And he had a long list of assaulting women. He would go to great lengths just dressing up. He would say he was a student. He dressed up as a doctor. You know, he was...
Well, and you trust him. I mean, there's just an inherent trust that comes along when you see a doctor. You just assume he's not a psychopath.
Or a student on, like, a campus. Or someone in a business suit in a parking garage, you know. It's just...
I mean, I don't know what I expected, but for some reason, it's like, if you're in a business suit, you're there to do business and not, like, rape and shit.
Right, exactly.
You know, and it's just, I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry. But
no, but it's just crazy what lengths people will go to do that. It's insane. Like, you can't trust anyone.
Well, it's so premeditated. That's the part that's so scary, is he's thinking about it ahead of time before he ever finds a victim. He's figuring out what he's gonna wear and how he's gonna look, and
probably has a fucking backstory.
And the whole thing. Oh God,
it's terrible.
It is terrible, motherfuckers.
But police were able to locate him.
Woo!
And they found red marks and scratches all over him because of Angela.
Oh, this is my dog.
Yeah.
What? It's like, nah, man.
Yeah, but they found Angela's DNA on his clothes. So I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if I ever got kidnapped, I would leave as much DNA. I would rip my hair out if need be, leave it in the car, leave as much DNA as I can to connect us all.
I'm not thinking of Pippin tearing off his little elven
Oh my gosh, that's right.
I need
Get
to quit
stomped on by
talking
orcs.
about fucking Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry.
It worked though.
Oh.
Because it was like they went into the forest.
Yeah, they found him,
here.
did they not?
Yeah, they did.
I'm ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm still reading it. It feels like fucking eternity.
It's a hard read.
It's a long one. It's a motherfucking... And considering I read like 5 pages before I fall asleep at night, it's taken 6 million years.
So, he was convicted to first-degree assault with aggravating factors. And he was convicted of the maximum of 20 years.
Oh, shit. Okay.
At sentencing, he stated that he hated women.
Well, that feels obvious.
Yeah. You didn't need to let us know that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That would have been my closing argument as the other lawyer. Well, he hates women.
There we go.
Yeah. You can't admit it now because I just told you to your stupid face.
The thing about Minnesota, though, is that convicts serve 2/3 of their sentencing behind bars if they maintain good behavior.
Oh, dear.
I would assume he's maintaining good behavior because there's no women in his prison, you know, and he hates women, so other men I think he'd be fine with.
Probably.
So, I don't know.
Again, like, where did that hatred of women come from? Was his mom really mean to him?
It could be, like,
or...
it usually stems from, you know, childhood and their mother's relationship. So,
yeah, so much has to do with your relationships with your parents.
Which is weird, but it could, like, guide
fuck you up so bad.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, we're calling you fucked up, sir. In your stupid business suit.
Yeah, stupid business suit. Doctor badge, whatever.
You're done. We hate you.
So, Angela was unable to run her marathon that was supposed to happen in October of that year.
I'm assuming it has to do with that giant stab wound she got.
Absolutely, yeah. No, she was unable to run. She still went, though, apparently. But at the finish line, her boyfriend proposed to her. So,
oh, God damn it.
I know.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Is she living in matrimonial bliss now?
Well, so she said that the attack was dark, brutal, and evil. But she ended up going back to her old high school and worked with the students there, taking the same self-defense class that she did. I know, right?
I don't even know what I want to say.
I know.
That's awesome. Because that shit saved her life.
Yeah. I mean, she just tapped into it after like 10 years, you know? I think it gives people some confidence. I think it gives women some confidence. Even though you took one class, it's like I learned some techniques that if I ever am in a situation, I can kind of hone into, I guess.
Yeah, I can make myself a little more safe. Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness.
So she graduated from Hamline University and got married.
Oh, that's awesome.
She even launched the Fight Like a Girl campaign.
Oh, hot damn.
I know, right?
I have to say, this has nothing to do with you, Angela. Well, maybe it does. But I sort of get offended when it's like, oh, you threw that like a girl. And it's like, I'm going to throw it like a girl right in your stupid face.
Yeah.
Like, I do find myself kind of pissed. It's like, what are you telling girls? That, you know, we're subpar? Yeah, right.
Exactly.
So, nah.
No, absolutely.
Nah.
Especially growing up in softball. Like, yeah, I'm going to throw like a fucking girl because I can throw probably faster than you.
Yeah.
Ass. But
yeah, exactly. I get so mad with just these things that are just part of our normal conversation, but they're very, actually, when you think about it, pretty degrading to women, and I get upset.
So this campaign, this is intended to reclaim the negative mocking views that society has about fighting, hitting, daily, anything about like a girl.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Yes! Oh, thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you for launching that, Angela.
Yeah. A year after the attack, Angela hosted her very first public event at Blaine City Hall. More than 70 people came and listened to Angela. She shared her story. She even shared the 911 call that she did.
Oh, I hate listening to 911 calls.
Crime scene photos and even her recovery story.
Her homicide photos that they took of her.
Oh my gosh. Ugh. She quotes, "I believe if he got me into that car, I wouldn't be here today. I want to be remembered as an intelligent fighter who survived every woman's worst nightmare and go on to touch the hearts of as many women as possible by sharing my survival story and advocating for silent victims."
Well, you know what? You touched my heart here today,
right?
Angela.
Her parting words to her attacker is, "You messed with the wrong chick."
You fucking did.
He sure did.
Fucking did. Oh.
Isn't that so awesome. Empowering? Like,
It is empowering. Good job, Caitlin.
Yeah. Thank you.
I have another empowering story.
That's great.
Will, a little
I
bit.
feel like, I don't know, maybe we're vibing
hard.
We have like the same. It's really easy for making titles if we have the same type of thing. So I appreciate us, connecting.
Strong ladies, if you will.
No, I just think she did such a great job. And I think even once a self-defense class will make any woman more confident about even walking to their car, walking at night. I mean,
well, I find myself being too polite and not wanting to hurt anyone's feelings or anything like that. And it's like, you can't do that.
I just see so many videos of women just walking down the street and they just call out to women and they don't want that attention.
Yeah.
And then when they don't respond, then it goes to, bitch, you
immediately
slut,
mean.
You're not that pretty, you're just a bitch. It's just like, wow, that was a 180, and just because
I'm literally just trying to walk down the road.
Exactly.
My car is there. Now I feel like I gotta walk with my keys out so I can stab you in the eyeball if you come near me.
I mean,
I can't even tell you how many times I've been like put into very awkward situations, and it's like my response is like laughing.
Because it's like a nervous laughter though, because it's like, what do you do?
And it's like, I gotta get myself out of this situation now in the most polite way I can, rather than like, you're a dirtbag and get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
So now that I'm older, one, I don't get hit on as much, and two, I'm a little braver to tell them to fuck off.
Look at that Alexis hair.
I know, that's true. That's true. I did have a kick-ass braid. So, oh my god, that's hilarious.
Okay.
Well, my story is about a different type of predator, if you will.
Okay.
Not the mankind, if you will.
The worst.
Sorry. Well, see, now I even want to apologize. Sorry, all men. Nah. I will not I'll only apologize to the good men. All the shitty men can go fuck themselves.
Exactly.
All right. So I'm going to take us back to 1992.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're kicking it back a little bit. And we are in Lillooet. Is that how we decided to say it?
Yes.
Yeah,
that
okay.
sounds good.
The village of Lillooet in Canada.
Okay.
So we're heading north a little bit. And so this story is about Lurrane Leech.
Okay.
And so she is a daycare provider.
Oh.
So it's her, and she watches over 5 children.
Mm-hmm.
So this has kind of been a dream of hers for some time. She has been a single mom. She's raised 3 teenagers.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, well done. Just there. Yeah. Survival story, whole nother kind. So she's just really excited. I mean, she still has a lot of trepidation about having the daycare, about, whether she's, taking care of the kids well enough, and whether she has enough kids to be able to pay her bills and all this stuff.
Right.
So she's still fairly new, but again, this has been a dream of hers for a long, long time. And so she's thrilled to be watching the kids that she is. So on this particular day of the daycare, it was her and 5 kids, and they were out painting. And this is actually July, so it's very warm out. And so by 10 a.m., she's thinking it's time to go find some shade.
Oh, okay.
It's like, we've been painting out in the sun. Now it's 10 a.m. It's getting pretty warm, so let's go. There's the Fraser River just down here. Let's go pick berries on the way down to the river and seek some shade.
Cute. Okay.
So, yeah, super cute. So off they went. So on this day, she was watching 5 kids. 3 of the kids were siblings. So that's Mikey, he's age 2.
Okay.
Jessica, she's 5. And then Alicia, who's 3.5. And then she was also watching 4-year-old Natani and a little bubbly toddler named Lisa.
Cute.
So they all sort of grab hands and head down to go pick berries and be at the river. So after clearing away the painting supplies and handing each child an empty jar, she called for her dog, Pal, which is the sweetest fucking name ever. Her little German Shepherd puppy,
Aww.
which I love even more. As we all know, I have lots of German Shepherds. Jessica and Natini sort of pair off and head off together, holding hands. It's probably the cutest thing ever. And then Mikey and Alicia and Lisa all sort of chain together and hold Lorraine's hand.
Okay.
And then they head down together.
So it's like 2 little groups.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We got the 2 ahead and then the 4 behind. I guess the 3 kids and the Lorraine. And so they head down, and they're going over this dusty gravel road and then on to a dirt trail among the trees. And the 2 oldest girls sort of break into a run and start running through the long brown grass to get closer to the river, if you will. But she can see them all. I mean, it's not like they're taken off and are in the brush now and they're gone forever. Nothing like that. So the other little kids sort of rush to keep up, but they can't quite. So the other 2 are up ahead, but they end up finding a bunch of berries. So they're like, oh, check out these berries. Yeah. And they're munching on them, and it's just a fucking delight all over. So like I said, they each had an empty jar, and that was to fill up their berries. So after about 20 minutes or so, each of the kids had filled up just about their full jar of berries. So they keep heading down, and they're looking for sort of a cool, shady spot to sort of munch on their berries. And
are these like blackberries?
They are. God damn it, Caitlin. Of course, they're chicumberries. I don't know what the fuck they are.
I'm sorry, that's what you said. You were just gonna say berries.
Chaukum. I don't know what kind of berries.
I'm sorry. We just had this conversation.
No, you can keep it. I don't care. Chicum berries?
Chicum?
I'm not familiar.
I'm not familiar either.
I'm not real clear. I actually even looked it up and I was still not familiar.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're delicious.
Yeah.
Because when Mickey tried one, he said, good, and wanted to collect more.
There we go.
So they're tasty.
Okay.
like I said, they headed down closer to the river, and Lurrane had them all get into a circle. And so what they do is they sort of pass a feather around, and then they can speak honestly to each other. So it's just
adorable.
Yeah, it's an exercise for the kids. I'm sure to help them with communication and all kind of honesty and all kinds of crazy stuff. Taking turns, exactly.
Wow.
And she was also worried about one of the kids wandering off. And if they're all sitting in a circle, they can't do that.
Yeah.
But actually what happened is little Alicia, who's 2.5, jumped up and sort of ran off. And so yelling, "Come back!" Lurrane had to jump up and kind of run after her. So when she came back, she noticed that the kids had gone sort of quiet.
Oh.
And she was like, And so she sort of kept looking around, and then she saw a cat the size of her German Shepherd standing over little Mikey.
Oh my gosh.
And the cat's head was down and out of sight because all she could sort of see was it hunched over, and she could see its shoulder blades sort of sticking out, and the head was down. Do you know what I mean? So she was looking at it from behind.
Oh, I see.
So she could see the tail and everything, the shoulder blades, but no head. And that poor Mikey was underneath.
Oh my gosh.
And the tail was sort of whipping back and forth. And that one of the other girls, Natani, was like, "Stop licking Mickey's face." And as though she was sort of talking to a house cat or something like that. And so Lurrane couldn't really figure out what the fuck was going on, but she knew it was not a good situation.
Yeah.
Because it was not a house cat. It was, in fact, a cougar.
My gosh.
She couldn't tell whether Mickey had been bitten or not, but he was silent and not
Just
moving.
laying there.
Just laying there. And the cat appears to be essentially devouring him.
Yeah,
it's not good. So she's like, her mind was racing and instinct took over, and she just leaped at the cat.
Wow.
So she sprang at the cougar, and she had actually intended to grab the tail. And in fact, she ended up grabbing it by the scruff of its neck and sort of throwing it back and forth, like sort of just shaking it as hard as she could. And instantly, the cougar sort of unsheathed its claws and turned on her and went to just, like, swipe her.
Okay.
Just swipe her face or whatever.
Oh, my gosh.
And it turns out, like, normally the cougar would have probably instantly killed Mikey, but it was just more curious and started licking his face.
Oh, so he was licking him.
Yeah, he was just licking him, as it turns out, and not eating his poor little face off. But now it is intent on Lurrane.
Right.
So it's growling and hissing, and it sort of stretched up into, so it's like on its hindquarters and up on 2 legs, I guess, and kind of going at her with its forearms.
Oh my gosh.
And so somehow, she's fucking 5'1".
Oh,
so,
she's tiny.
Yeah, she's tiny. Somehow she manages to grab a hold of its forearms. So she's got 1 leg in each arm.
One arm.
There's
1 leg in each arm?
One of the cougar's legs in each of her arms. If that makes sense.
Yep, I got it.
2 forearms, 2 hands, she's holding it back. And she manages to sort of slip its claws, like, under with her thumbs. Like,
she pushed her claws back in?
Yeah, just sort of, or more just sort of folds its paws like back in on themselves.
I see, yes.
But one paw actually managed to escape and just went after her shoulder. And so her shoulder's like completely ripped open. And she knew that this cougar was capable of killing her. Like 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was still a pretty young cougar, which is the reason that they think that Mikey was not killed right away. It was because it was a young cougar that had more curiosity rather than sort of this instinct to immediately kill. So she yells at all the 4 other kids to, like, get behind me and stay behind me. And she is still holding the cougar up by its, like, 2 forearms.
Oh my gosh.
And
what do you do? It's like, do I let go? Do I just keep holding him?
That's kind of where she was at. So what she ended up doing is, like, summoned all of her strength and all the while sort of yelling as well. And she sort of pushed it as far sort of
Yeah.
back on itself as she could.
Okay.
And so with the pushing and all the yelling, the cougar actually got scared.
Oh, wow.
So she was able to get the cougar to kind of cower and sort of run off. And so the whole time, though, she's like, pal, do something. Like, save us. I don't know. And the poor German Shepherd was like,
Oh, he was there.
yeah. And was like, nah.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was like
gosh.
a lot of barking and stuff.
Yeah.
But pal didn't jump into action for quite a while. And what she ended up yelling at the cougar as she's like pushing him away is like, leave us alone and get out of here. And pal, do something.
Yeah.
And actually, after the cougar fell backwards, it sort of rolled and then sort of ran away.
Yeah.
That's when pal jumped into action.
Like, the cougar's leaving. It's like, I got this. I can do it.
I can take care of things
So
now.
funny.
So that's pretty much exactly correct. Pal's thinking about himself or herself. So actually, without knowing it, Lurrane had reacted exactly as you should have.
Oh.
You should be aggressive with your, apparently, according to this, you should be aggressive with your movements and shout very loudly. And cougars can lose their appetite for killing if they're angrily confronted.
Oh.
So go at them
interesting.
hard if you're getting attacked. Like, that's what
Okay.
it sounds like. So watching the cat retreat, Pal gave chase. Like, now, as I said, he was barking madly and running after him. And actually, the cougar ended up jumping up into a pine tree.
Oh, wow.
And,
Okay.
like, went way up. And Pal was
done.
still, like, barking at the, the trunk and stuff. That's my dogs. It's like, now that the cougar's gone, I can probably help
Right,
out a
yeah.
little bit more.
Now that it's scared, I'll just add to it.
Yeah. So Lurrane rushed over to Mikey, who at this point had not moved or anything, made any noises, and was just laying in the sand, silently in the sand.
Oh my gosh.
The left side of his face and neck were completely bathed in blood.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was breathing and his eyes were open, and actually they were so open they seemed to bulge from his face, but he was not responding or anything. So that poor little boy was probably just completely in shock. And then Lurrane looked over to Lisa, and she was also like, just had blood everywhere, and she's like, oh my God. So she picked up Mikey and she picked up Lisa and she called to the other children and said, we're going home now. And she saw their terror as they looked up at her, and she's like, let's go.
Yeah.
And let's go as fast as we can. And so all the kids are just like
Booking it
out of there. So they scrambled up the hill. Lisa was crying. Mikey was still completely silent.
Oh my gosh.
And Lurrane found very quickly that it was too much to carry both kids. So she sort of put Mikey down a little bit, and that's when he sort of came out of a stupor.
Oh.
And he sort of started crying, owie, and immediately burst into tears. I mean, this poor
my
little
gosh.
2.5-year-old.
Yeah.
Ugh. So she pulled him along, and Pal, our German Shepherd, actually lingered behind and was still keep an eye for the cougar and everything. So Pal sort of came in and helped.
They stepped up.
Yeah. Thank you, Pal. And she was like, everything's going to be all right. She kept trying to console the kids, but deep down, she was not so certain.
Yeah.
The cougar could be anywhere. She had considered, like, what it had already done. Lisa and Mikey were bleeding all over, and I'm sure she was also, because it really nabbed her shoulder. So within 5 minutes, they were inside. And that's when Lurrane became aware of all of her pain. She could feel like the lacerations in her chin and neck, but she realized that all of her wounds were shallow. Lisa had been lucky as well. The cougar had clawed within an inch of her right eye.
Oh my gosh.
And it actually ended up taking 20 stitches to sort of stitch up that laceration from the cougar swipe. And it sounded like Mikey needed a few stitches as well, and both kids got tetanus shots, but other than that, all the kids were fine, other than just the few stitches.
Very lucky.
And she actually, Lurrane herself, didn't even need any stitches.
Oh.
She just got cleaned up and then she got sent home, and turns out she was so sore the next day that she could hardly move. She wrestled a cougar.
A cougar. She carried kids up a hill. She got scratched. Like
pure adrenaline, I'm sure.
That's crazy.
And I guess, so she had the kids paint pictures fairly soon after that. Lisa, I should say, did not come back to the daycare.
Oh, she didn't?
No, her parents, pulled her.
No offense. I probably may do the same,
Yeah. But... it's not her fault, but the whole situation kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But Mikey came back, and I guess the paintings that they did during that time were splattered with red. Like all over. So they were processing their own stuff.
That's good though. Process, kids. Process.
So about a week later, Mikey decided he was going to take the eagle feather, which is what they pass around in their circle. And he told them that he had a dream the night before. And Lurrane asked, like, what did you dream about? And he said, I saw an eagle. He was sitting on a bed, and then he flew over me. And so in their Lillooet folklore, the eagle is a sign of strength sent by ancestors as an assurance that the person who sees it will be kept safe. It was like an assurance that Mikey would be kept safe going forward. And she knew that was actually a sign that Mikey was feeling a little bit more secure again.
Good.
Lurrane actually felt better herself. She felt like she had met the greatest challenge of her life head on, and she went for it. And turns out that she ended up... So police and a local conservation officer went in search of the cat to, put it down, unfortunately. And they couldn't find it. And then about a week later or so, they ended up finding it and putting it down. Which always makes me a little sad because it's like these poor things are only trying to live their lives. Yeah. But on the other hand, we don't want them killing poor little children.
Yeah, that's true.
And then her village ended up giving her an award for outstanding bravery.
Aww.
And they all ended up being okay, and that was kind of the end of it. But
that's good.
Aww.
Man, you could put fighting a cougar on your resume. I will fight wild animals for your children. That has to be.
Yeah, can you even imagine, and she didn't know if Mikey was alive or dead. And she just went into action. Yeah.
How eerie was it? You come back to a circle of silent kids and you look over and one's just laying on the ground with a cougar in front of him.
I know, it's you shouldn't do that. What did poor little Lisa say?
Stop licking his face. But the bobcat had time to scratch one.
It scratched them both. Yeah. Got Lisa, pinned poor little Mikey down, and then ended up sort of scratching up Lurrane a little bit. Yeah. But the other 3 kids were fine. Yeah. Probably a little traumatized from the whole situation. But
good for her, man.
Yeah.
I would take my kid back because she's willing to fight a wild animal, to protect my children.
That's right.
That's dedication, man.
Come on. Yeah.
I would definitely, yeah.
Yeah, you would be here's my baseball bat that I carry with me always. I just bashed its head in.
This one's retractable, so I can put it in my pocket.
Oh my god. If I ever find a fucking retractable baseball bat, that is your present.
It would beat the pocket salt.
Yeah. Pocket salt. Oh, I love pocket salt.
I actually used it. I'm like, I had a boiled egg for breakfast, and I'm like, this needs salt. And I'm like, I have it. It's in my purse.
Just in case I need to eat another human being.
Exactly. But good job, Lurrane. My gosh. Powerful women.
Powerful women.
Back. Males, animals, can't stop
Cougars.
us. Can't stop us. Well, good job, Lurrane. Good job.
Nailed it.
Women, yes, these women were so great. This was a great storytelling.
For the ladies.
That's right. So, all right. Well, those were great stories.
Those were great. Well done, Angela. Well done, Lurrane.
Good job.
Fucking killing your own predators.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Yeah. The only thing would have been better is if Angela had like stabbed him somehow right
Like
to his
took
stupid
the knife
spine.
and then
Yeah.
But she
Lurrane.
made it easy for them to find him because he was all scratched up and shit with
Good
her
job.
DNA. So
All over the motherfucking place.
Exactly.
Good job.
good job. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Georgia Jins.
Yeah, Georgia
for
Jins.
the buzz that I've got going on.
Exactly. So please follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can email us at ishouldtotallybedeadrightnow@gmail.com. You can see our website, ishouldtotallybedeadrightnow.com, and all of that. And all the podcast platforms. Just listen.
Just fucking find it. Come
Yeah.
on. Come on.
Come on. All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.